Welcome to Game 2 in the match between RDK Archlord playing in green, and I am Skillet playing in teal, light blue, whatever the hell you want to call it. So in Game 2 we always see the Aztec War, and then if it's brought into the next game we will see the Mayan War. So how do Aztec Wars generally work? I've explained it every time, so why the hell should I stop now? Generally open with the barracks, go into the 5 militia, which is paired up with the Eagle Warrior, which then goes in for the harass. Then they will advance up. In rare case you can see them push with the militia and go up into man-at-arms, but usually we see them use that drush to the best of their advantage, then go completely into an archer flush, then that gets pushed into crossbows, and that gets pushed into Eagle Warriors if they make it to Imperial Age. Don't usually see Eagle Warriors during the Castle Age, so that's really just the way it seems to work out in me. Usually in Feudal you either get a double or a triple range, and a blacksmith, and that's generally what they advance up on. So let's just have a quick look at the surrounding, because as I always explain, the most necessary thing for Aztecs to work, they are quite a gold heavy civ. They have a lot of units they can get. They have the Siege Onager, they have the Arbalist, they have the Eagle Warrior, lots of really heavy gold units which they use. So when we look at it, and actually getting attacked there, just wanted to make sure that didn't die, it comes a lot down to the gold placements. If their gold is, say, way out here to start with, they're going to be in a bit of trouble, because they're going to have to put up the gold mine at the front of their base. They're either going to have to wall it in or put so much pressure on their opponent they can't come out and get them. Because when those gold mines get harassed, as an Aztec player, there's always a little bit you can do, but you can't get out the true power of Aztecs, which is in that crossbow Eagle Warrior just combination. And of course those Onagers, if you get into late Imperial Age, they just, as we know, Siege Onagers just drill through everything. Siege is not used enough in this game. A lot of the new players don't understand just how amazing Siege is. So, there we go. And I have no idea why that was built there. So, gold placement for Archlord right now isn't bad. You can see he's already going for a temporary wall off here, and not surprised at all because it is quite towards the front. He does have this one over the back here, but it's still pretty easily harassable, but his opponent might not scout it and might not see it. So in the first game we did see Archlord take out quite a good one against Skillet. Skillet put in a great defense there with those knights, but in the end he was just out microed, and those pikemen just did too much damage for him to be able to deal with. So there goes the barracks now, and barracks is going up for Skillet, so we're seeing a reasonably same timings right now. Should be up by about 7:20, 7:30. 7:30 and 7:30. There we go. So the barracks are pretty close, which means now, as well as something that happens in the Aztec game, deer are usually hunted as well. Something that doesn't usually happen a lot of the time, but when you're building militia, they cost 60 food, I believe, just from the top of my head. But 60 food it's quite a lot when it's 50 food for a villager and you're trying to get your villager count up. So the best way to go into it is to hunt deer, just because they give you that rapid source of food. They don't cost anything to hunt, and they're 140 food to hit. So that generally happens, but if they're too far away, generally they won't go with them. Like the deer over here, no. These ones over here, possibility, but probably still a bit too far away from that town center. If there was like berries there though, definitely would be hunted, and that villager there walling itself out. I'm actually interested. You can delete off that wall or make it run around, or you're just gonna let it sit idle. It's just gonna run around. Whole wall hasn't been done yet. You're all good. So walling his base off here. So this says to me he could be going for a fast Castle Age, or he could just be trying to defend up against this drush which is incoming, and he's got the units out to defend with it. So we've got the 5 militia there and this, and it's going to be interesting to see. And he's scattered all the way down, which is really important as well. Knowing when that drush is coming is also very important. I wonder if there's a gap there. I can't tell actually. Could be, could not be. I always hate building on just ledges like that. I can never tell. And we do have the 5 militia right now from Skillet as well. So it's going to come down to microing and hill bonus really. So we can see lots of damage actually being, well, not a lot, but some damage has been done to these militia. It might lose this one here actually. Very good there. And that's the thing again with drushing. You've got to pick your moments very carefully, because like that, if you scout out, see, he just picked off one militia there without losing anything really, which is really, really good. And luring his opponent back actually might be able to get a few hits in here. And wolves, of course, as well, going to be one of the biggest contenders with the drush. If you pull 3 wolves across with you, actually I think there was a game I put on my channel, like real originally, it was real shit quality and I think I've taken it down, but essentially it was a 3 militia rush, and he picked up like 4 wolves along the way and just ditched them in his opponent's base. So, and he won the game off that. His opponent lost like 5 villages to this because he didn't have loom yet. So in my opinion that was a freaking awesome tactic to do. And look at this, we're seeing backup militia right now from Archlord. which is really interesting. We don't generally see this. Archlord going up as well, so he has got some really good timings. He's got, what, he would have had 8 militia, 9 militia plus there. See the double range going down right now for Skillet, and Man-at-Arms forcing the cancel on that building there, and brilliant wall off there. Actually, come on, wall this off, wall this off. Yes, champion effort, and he's done it. He's walled it off. That is, oh no. Don't you hate that so much? But Man-at-Arms in his base now, this is not going to be nice to play with, especially when they box these villagers in like this, and they're not going to be able to get away. But back down over here, nearly killing off this barracks, actually. Quite impressed by that. You don't generally see buildings go down at this stage in the game. We know that Man-at-Arms, of course, do get their bonus versus buildings, but it's not a big bonus, so... And when you've got this little of them, generally it's pretty interesting to see someone try and kill off a building at this stage. We do have the militia, well, Man-at-Arms now being pulled back, actually. And like I said, it's still lagging for a bit at the moment. I can't tell why. I'm going to have to look into this and close some stuff. But my computer's a tank. It shouldn't be lagging at all, actually. So, militia moving forward, pushing these ones here back. However, when they get back here, there's going to be quite a nice army of archers actually ready to defend. So there goes the blacksmith, so we saw the double range into the blacksmith, which we'll probably then see into another range, just from my opinion, because it looks like the Feudal war is going to be quite heavy. But, saying that, Archlord's only getting his second range up now, so it could actually be really hurting if he gets some scouts in, actually, just because of the fact he's got that one barracks up, and he's probably going to go militia at this stage, because he's probably not militia, he's probably going to go skirms, because he knows his opponent is going this. Why'd I even say scouts? He's freaking Aztecs. Well, if he goes up to castle and gets some eagles out, it would be an extremely good counter, but they don't get that plus armor, which is what they want, which is what they get in Imperial, and that eagle upgrade. But in Forgotten Empires, I think they're adding an upgrade called the Heavy Eagle, which might encourage it to be used a bit more in Castle Age, just because it gets that little bit of bonus. And so where's this game going to go from here is the question. This lag's starting to really annoy me. We're seeing the double range of the blacksmith go down over here as well. And we're seeing the third range go down. Doesn't look like it. We are seeing a second gold camp though. Keeping this one here under close eye as well, just so the fact he can do whatever the hell he wants. And if he runs out of gold, he can come up here. If he runs out of room on it, he can come up here. And right now, as I said, this wall off here was very important, just because of the fact that if he loses his gold, he can be in a lot of trouble. And I'm surprised we're still seeing Man-at-Arms, because Man-at-Arms don't really get used a lot in these games anymore. I've seen Man-at-Arms just absolutely demolish groups of skirmishers before in 1v1. In fact, I've done that. I just went in with the militia rush, and he did nothing to prevent it. And there we go, poured from there, and thank you! Good on you guys! Good sportsmanship, that's what I love to see. But as I was saying, I've actually taken out a shitload of skirmishes before with Man-at-Arms, just because you pin one on each of them, they throw the spear and then walk away. So, I guess in a way you could call them like self-microing, but who knows. And probably would have been better here to go a few more skirmishes than archers, just because of the fact they do so well against archers. Which is something you really don't see that as much either. Like, if people have the resources to go archers and they know their opponent's going archers, they will go archers. I don't know why they go that instead of skirmishes, because personally, I would go skirmishes. I'd love to save their resources, kill off their army, and take minimal losses. But, you know, it's generally done in higher ranked games too, so it's probably me thinking on the wrong path. Like, naturally they'll be able to upgrade them to crossbows and get a lot of damage in there as well. I guess it depends on really how you look at it. Okay, crossbows have so many uses. And here we go now, so quite a few skirmishes mixed in here actually, compared to this army over here. And these Man-at-Arms, see what I mean? They have to walk after these units here. That's why they really don't last, because these crossbows just get microed and these Men-at-Arms just can't do anything. Of course, unless you're Carlos and you just epically micro them. So, could be in trouble here as well if he cuts through. He's got to be careful. That trio in there's only got 85 on it. Both players have gone up to the Castle Age now, so it's going to come down to really who can produce the most crossbows, as we see by a lot of them, and who gets those upgrades first. What are we seeing for you? We are seeing the +2 on you. Are we going to see the plus armor? Haven't seen the plus armor on anyone yet, but we have seen Archlord go for the elite skirmisher, and we've seen Skillet go as well. It's something that generally doesn't happen a lot. And is that his scout eagle warrior, or did he just create a new one? He may have just created a new Eagle Warrior there, and if that happened, it's going to be extremely interesting, because like I said, we don't usually see Eagle Warriors get used in Castle Age. So there we go, he is creating Eagle Warriors at this point. They are going to be able to soak up the damage quite well, considering they start off with 2 pierce armor. But until they get those extra upgrades, they're not going to be able to do a lot. See, they're actually taking legitimate damage from skirmishes. But the thing is, they are going to be able to close the distance really quickly on those skirmishes and get the damage. The thing is, those skirmishes don't cost any gold, and an Eagle Warrior costs 50, so it's really going to come down to who can be more cost effective. And I don't know if he's creating any more Eagle Warriors there or not, but who knows. So, walling off. Anything else interesting happening? Nothing unusual really happening. We have the town center going down there, so that'll make it 2. Are we going to see a second few? Yes, second is down. Third, no third town center yet. Wouldn't be surprised if the third for Skillet comes up down over here. And Archlord might even put his up out at the front here. Just the fact he can do that might delete off some of this wall and get into that gold there. But, like I said, at the moment it's going to come down to who can create the most archers. Unless we can see Skillet going for more Eagle Warriors, which he isn't at this point. Doesn't look like he is. But he does have 3 rangers out there. No surprise that he hasn't gone for a 4th, because we generally... 3 seems to be the usual number. We don't generally see 4 actually be used. And Skillet's actually up by quite a bit at the moment, considering there's been next to no fighting. There has been a few little armies lost, a few little skirmishes between it, not the unit, of course, just skirmishes and a little fight. But... There is a big difference between the economy, that means, and it means there's a big difference between the lost units. I actually wish we had a lost units tab right now. I'd love to see the resources lost by both players. But here comes Archlord. He's going up with this, and I almost said Archlord there. Just comment what you think of that. Did I say Archlord there or Archlord? So, I'm sorry to you, Archlord, too. But doing no damage there with that mangonel. That's something you don't see as well. You generally don't see mangonels follow up with the main army. Mangonels are usually used for defensive purposes, which is really interesting because... Of course, they can do so much damage on the front line if their opponent's not expecting them. You can take out probably that entire army there with 2 mangonels. That easily in like 2 hits. Just because that's how it works. Mangonels just do so much damage versus archers. As soon as you get to Castle Age and you're being harassed by archers, get a mangonel out. It's the best counter you can think of. And this cliff here is actually brilliant. It's helped him with his wall off so much actually. Another mangonel there, so this might turn the tide right now if he can get this kill with this mangonel. And I'm really going to have to close some more programs down next time I do a recording. So, mangonel, here he comes. If he gets one good hit with this in the center, could do a hell of a lot of damage. And here it comes. Boom. And no real damage there, not too much done. We do see that they do have all their upgrades. We're looking at where your archers get to. Where'd your archers get to? Can't even see any of them. They must. There's a few there. What are we seeing there? You don't have all the upgrades yet. You're behind on the armor upgrade. And bang, killing a few off there. Going for that brilliant split there, actually, by Skillet. And up by 500 points, actually. Going to be able to fight 500, more like 1,300. Going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here, actually. But we can see we do have Archlord going up to Imperial Age and Skillet is not. So what are we going to see yet again? We're going to see a posse of Eagle Warriors come in, demolish all the Archer army, and that's going to be it. Eagle Warrior, Eagle Warrior, Eagle Warrior, where is your Smith? I can't remember. I think it was down over here somewhere. No, it was up over here. Can't see any research has been done, but I want to see what kind of upgrades you have on those Eagle Warriors already. Come on, come on, come on. Castle going down as well, so he's going to be able to get that +4. And he's only got the armor upgrade on those Eagles, but he is going up to Elite Eagle Warrior as well, which we just saw. So he's going to be able to do a lot of damage right now. And as we can see, Skillet knows what's coming. He pulled back all of his army, because he knows they're going to be absolutely destroyed by a posse of Eagle Warriors. Castle, of course, going to be able to defend out, but if they get in nice and close without murder holes being down, because I don't think we've seen a university yet, if that doesn't happen, then, actually, yes, we have seen a university right there. They should have been, because he would have got ballistics at any rate. But Archlord's going to be able to push all of his advantages at the moment. He's going to be able to push the advantage that he's going to get for the economy. He's going to be able to push the tech advantage. He's going to be able to push the Eagle Warrior advantage. And here they all come right now. And Mangonel there as well, actually. If these guys get caught... Ooh, that was lucky. If they got caught in there, if he had chose to attack ground, he could have done so much damage. Skirmishes still being produced as well. Eagle Warriors, of course, what upgrades you up to was still on no attack upgrades. We've got the +2 armor though. And going out to defend off this town center now, that's going to probably be his biggest thing. Running out of stone there. Castle down on the other side, of course. I'm going to keep an eye on these Eagles because I want to see all the upgrades that get done. And still lagging out. I'm not very happy about this. I'm going to slow it down for a sec. Just because, actually I'm going to pause it just because I want to check a few things. If we look at the main bases, we can see right now we've got 4 town centers up in this small area here for Archlord. As well as the fact he is going to have the tech advantage when it comes to gathering resources. He's going to have all his wheelbarrow, handcart, all his gold mining tech, all his wood cutting tech, and he's putting up the market as well. So he's going to be able to go quite good into the economy there. We can also see another town center coming up on this gold pile here. So in full, we have 5 town centers up for Archlord right now. If we look at Skillet right now, I see 2, I see 3 town centers. So he's going to be behind in the village account. That's just given. So we're at 98 population right now for Archlord, and 126 for Skillet. Mostly because Skillet has quite a large army, as we saw by all these archers and units over here, which is going to come down to. But does the population difference really matter when you're being outdone by tech and that so much? Like, these Eagle Warriors should be able to come in here and kill a lot. Also, if we look at the idle villagers at the moment, he's under a lot of pressure, and that's where the damage seems to be done. Still up by 1,400 points, going up to Imperial Age there, but unless he can get some Eagles out and start doing the damage, this is going to turn into a really long game. But there we have from Skillet, we have the best thing so far. We have the Jaguar Warrior, the best counter to Eagle Warriors by far. Gets a great advantage on attack there, gets a great bonus versus the Elite Eagle Warrior, and it's a castle unit. It's not an overly expensive unit either. It does have quite a bit of cost on it, but it's not as expensive as Eagle Warrior when it comes down to it, in my opinion. Because Eagle Warriors are used against archers, and that's pretty much it, but that's, I guess, the same with Jaguar Warriors, though. You don't really get them see them get used unless it's against Eagle Warrior, just because of the fact if your opponent goes Eagle Warrior, they go full Eagle Warrior. Right now, though, Archlord does have, like, complete map control. He has pretty much from this section here out, just because his opponent's boxed in so much. But, and there we've got the 4+4 armor as well, so they're going to be able to do a hell of a lot of damage when it comes down to it. Surprised we actually haven't seen the, I think it's Gunglin Wars go down yet, just because of the fact that it gives the +4 to all infantry, which is very, very, very good technology to have, just because, as well as on pikes, like, they absolutely destroy cavalry when you get that upgrades. And there we go, Garland Wars getting done there. And that means, and Eagle is actually, I mean, Jaguar Warrior is actually getting produced for Archlord as well. Very interesting, because we don't generally see them being produced on both sides. Generally, it's just the one. So, and going for Eagle Warriors as well. So both players going to a big Eagle Warrior, Jaguar Warrior combination, actually. I'm surprised we haven't seen more archers get produced just to take out those Jaguar Warriors, even skirmishers, just to be annoying. Even Scorpions. Could see some Scorpions get used as well, just because Scorpions are so well versus mass infantry. But right now, in my opinion, it's going to, and Trebuchets actually as well, that's going to be able to do a lot of damage. So I wouldn't actually be surprised if we see Skillet take this one, just because he's got such a well composed army. He's got a nice army of crossbowmen there, he's got some Jaguar Warriors to back up here, and he's got these Eagle Warriors, and he's got this Trebuchet right here which he can defend to take this castle down, which is really, really good. So unless one person can do an extreme amount of economical damage, we might see this going to game 3. Castle under attack there, and naturally going to go for the things that he finds most deadly. So in this case, he's going in for the archers and for the Eagle Warriors. Jaguar Warrior is being pulled in as well. However, right now it looks like Archlord is getting a better surround on this right now. There was a lot of units there that weren't doing anything before, and he might just take this. Yes, he's going to take this one. These trebuchets are going down. Remember, trebuchets cost 200 wood, 200 gold. Not cheap by any means. Right now, as well, we just saw Archlord take the lead as well, actually, by quite a few points. A lot just happened right then. Skillet just lost his entire army to trebuchets, and we saw Archlord take the top. Skillet had been ahead for a long, long time. But right now, he finally had the tech advantage, had all the advantages he needed, but Archlord managed to take that. I'm very surprised he managed to kill off that army right there. I thought that Skillet would have had that for sure, but either it was that giant amount of Eagle Warriors there just getting absolutely smashed there. I don't know whether they're idling off, not doing anything on like no attack stance or stand ground or what, but something definitely happened there which definitely screwed over that fight. So actually, give me your opinions. Why do you think Archlord won that fight? Was it because he had a better surround on his opponent? Were those Eagle Warriors of Skillet just idling off there? What do you think happened? Or do you think they were just badly micromanaged? Give me your opinion in the comments below on what you think of that, because I find that extremely interesting. And castles are starting to take a lot of damage. Villagers having to be garrisoned right now for Skillet. We see Archlord going up by 1,600 points right now. 1,700. Forward castle going there for Archlord, and Skillet, what the hell happened there? No idea. In my opinion, this would have made for a great game 3, but it doesn't look like it's going to go that way. And castle going down, 2 siege workshop going down as well. So it's starting to look, it is a good game for Skillet right now, unless he can pull out a miracle. He's garrisoned up in his town centers, not collecting any resources right now, can't afford to get anything else. And we're about to see the good game so there's not a lot we can do about it. Sorry about it's been so laggy, by the way. And there's a good game from Skillet, good game from Archlord, and Skillet resigning off there. So remember, give me your opinions on that, because I'm really interested to see what you guys think happened there with that fight, because I've got my opinions, and I'll probably voice them in the next video after I get some of yours and see if I can relate any of them together. But yeah, definitely, because that was a really interesting fight. This was actually probably one of my favourite games to watch so far, because it was really back and forth. So thank you for everybody who's watching. I'll see you in the next Masters of Arabia matchup.